All right. All right. So, not really good introduction. So, I guess we just jump right back into where we left off. So, we'll be covering we'll be covering the rest of season one from episode 6 through the finale, and then all the other stuff like the world building and character work. All right. So we So I think where we left off was the scene where Sarah brings Adam and Luke to talk them, and there's this really weird line that's honestly kind of telling for Sarah's character, where she says she only allowed the extermination to happen because Hell was believed to be a threat, which again we're not shown Hell being a threat, which that feels like pretty weak honestly, and then just and this results in Sarah telling Adam, who she knows is unstable and cannot be trusted, to do whatever he needs to do to cover this whole thing up. Which, like, she should know that he's gonna use this to his advantage and do his own things with this, especially if Sarah knows that Vaggie's the former exorcist. So, the, so then we get a scene, but where Adam and Luke show up to Vaggie, and Vaggie says that Charlie will be back soon, even though she literally just left, which is it's a very nitpicky, like, minor or continuity thing, but it's still worth pointing out. And reveals what everyone was suspected, which is, yeah, Vaggie is a former exorcist, and that she helped commit atrocities and genocide against Charlie's people, including children. For some reason, I really don't get that. Because Vaggie's turning point is that she confronts a child in hell and she lets him go, which either that's a hellborn child, which means that they're breaking their rule of not hurting hellborn, or it's a sinner child, which just raises the question of what of are the rules really that vague and strict that it means all sinners, including children, need to die. And then we get a part that borderline breaks the season, which is Vaggie gets her eyes gouged out and her wings torn off by Lute with her angelic blade, and we assume by this, and that already raises questions, but it's not too bad until the next episode does Vaggie not remember that angels can be hurt with angelic weapons when she herself was hurt by one? And
That's insane, bro. Don't you remember? She had like dementia off screen.
yeah, that's right. She has off-screen dementia. That's right. And, then Lute has a line that's been taken a couple ways by audiences, where she says their love, Charlie and Vaggie, is vile and blasphemous, which that's obviously referring to Charlie being a demon and Vaggie being a fallen angel. But people have also come to taking it as saying that Lute, and by extension Heaven, is homophobic, which I personally don't see it that way. I think it is like the whole angel and demon thing, but I could see why people would take it that way. And and it ends with Adam trying to guilt trip Vaggie into sort of fucking over the trial, which she doesn't even end up doing. So I don't know what the point of that is. And he's just like, if you don't help me win, I'll tell her that you're an angel. Even and it's just weird that Vaggie doesn't do anything except just leave during the trial. Speaking of, then we get to the trial, and I'm just gonna be blunt. The entire trial is broken. With modern context in season two, the entire trial is broken. The speaker of God is completely absent in this scene when she should be there. And this is a huge thing that carries over into season two, that destroys Sarah's character. She seems sort of reluctant to allow the exterminations, but also does take a sense of pleasure in them, and she never once thought to ask the literal ambassador of God if mass genocide is okay. So, so yeah, in retrospect, the entire trial is broken, and it's really amounts to nothing by the end, and so
Introducing Speaker of God might have been like a shoot in the foot situation.
yeah, it's like they didn't want to include God or Jesus themselves, so their resolution to that was to so their solution to that was to have God's literal ambassador as a character. So and whether or not this is intentional, the fact that Adam doesn't even know how people get into heaven is really fucking stupid. You think at least someone would know how to get into heaven, and they basically just lampshade this saying like, "Oh, we don't know." And, and Charlie does decide to make Angel Dust their sort of like subject, even though considering how much she's been gassing them up, I would think that she would use someone like Pensius as her subject. So, well, like it make and then also raises the question of did Charlie just flat out not even brief Angel on the plan? Like, okay, we're gonna be using you as a subject to prove redemption is possible. Be on your absolute best behavior. And we also just and in the middle of all this, we also get a really weird line where Sarah says that Adam was the first human soul in heaven when we see in season two that Abel literally exists, and so that's just a really it's a minor contradiction, but it is also pretty huge. Like the show is just picking and choosing which elements of biblical mythology to actually follow. And then we get the real mixed bag subplot of Angel Dust, Cherry, Husk, and Serpentius and Nifty and at the at the club, which and at the club to like serve and and just having a night out. And Angel actually admits that he doesn't want to ruin his progress, and actually listens to Husk about not indulging in drugs and alcohol and shit, only to immediately backtrack, fold, and listen to Cherry, which is just I'm not sure about you, but I feel like that's sort of counterintuitive to his character. Like,
Cherry and Angel seem to be good friends, but the show throughout season one and season two really does make Husk the full front, like the full, like the main focus of keeping his character in check and everything, right? That's the main dynamic. And I think it is weird, possibly even borderline CA, character assassination for him to listen to Cherry over Husk.
yeah, yeah, like that honestly does it's not an insane amount of damage, but it does damage Angel's character, with the development that he's been having so far this season, and and also for some reason Adam knows about Angel Dust, which that's sort of like a make of it what you will situation. And so, and
Feels
and
like
I
Adam
really,
knows everyone though.
and what was that?
Feels like Adam knows everyone though.
Yeah, it's like Amazing Spider-Man 2 where everyone just knows everyone.
I mean, it seems at least clear that he knows the V's, and Angel is like a big part of the V's brand.
Um,
So I guess he would know Angel through that anyway.
yeah. All right. All right. And then there's a really weird attempt at a joke where Sarah says to the truck and keep going, and Charlie's like, "Oh fuck yes, oh sorry," which basically questioned like what heaven's stance on swearing is. If Adam and Luke swearing is fine, if Saint Peter swearing is totally okay, but Charlie swearing just is not okay or acceptable. And and we get a couple genuinely good jokes with Angel Dust and Nifty, and then we get probably the most contentious part of this episode, the Serpentious joke. Because for those of you who haven't seen the show, if you have seen the show, sorry that I'm being redundant, but Serpentious has the hots for Cherry Bomb and is trying to win her over, and every time that she's like, oh, why would you do that? He just feigns it like, oh, I'm buying you a drink because I'm buying everyone a drink, and he's and he do,
Going to have sex with everyone here.
yeah, and then he gets dragged off kicking and screaming into a booth, which like for a show that claims like take stuff like SA really seriously, that just seems very like like hypocritical and insensitive. Honestly,
Yeah, it's quick. It's throwaway for like no discernible reason.
yeah,
Unfortunately, like. Yeah,
yeah, it's just a very poor taste joke in a show that had an entire episode dedicated to how serious like sexual abuse is. Speaking of, Angel finds
same
out that
season too.
yeah. Speaking of, we find out that Valentino is also at the club, and we do get a pretty great scene of Angel actually standing up to him when he tries to like indoctrinate Nifty and whatnot. And, and, and obviously Nifty is still the funniest character in the show when she rips off part of Valentino's cloak and just says it's for her collection. and, and I feel like there's really not much to talk about with Cherry Bomb because she's barely even in this episode. This is her big introduction, showing how close she is with Angel, and she just shows up. She's more focused on Penchus in this episode than she is with Angel. It's just weird.
She
And
also doesn't have a whole lot to do until season 2.
yeah, it's and I would argue even in season 2 she doesn't do much.
I mean, she at least has a character arc in season 2, but she's just a another comic relief character in season 1.
Yeah, and so, and so I probably should have mentioned this earlier, but uh, I should have mentioned this earlier, but they do, uh, but but when Adam is questioned about how about how people get into heaven, he makes up like 3 rules, like act selfless, don't steal, and stick it to the man, and so and so obviously Angel ends up doing all 3 of those, and and so everyone immediately starts questioning like, wait, why isn't he here? Which that's personally really fucking stupid. Like, oh, because a soul just didn't magically poof into heaven, that means that they're not redeemable. Okay, when obviously we know that there's a lot more nuance to it. Like it could be his deal with Val or whatever, but that's also never explained. And then we probably get one of the better songs in the season, but I still think it's sort of whatever with "You Didn't Know" And I say it's one of the better songs because it's generally pretty good. It has a lot, and it has really good animation, but like a lot of it is all.
That's the main standout. Uh, like all of a sudden the animation quality just bumps up to 11 for no reason. Just for this one song.
Yeah, but also a lot of you didn't know also could be dialogue instead of an actual song, and also Adam, Lou, and Sarah are still like a huge problem in the song. Like I get it, Adam is stupid, but he's not this stupid to just casually say, "Oh yeah, we're gonna kill all of you in the middle of heaven," like to everyone like that. Like that honestly really damages his character, and Lou meanwhile just does completely nothing. She's just standing there and has a little verse about how shitty Angel Dust is, and 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 Sarah, this establishes that Sarah is basically just evil. She's talking about how committing the exterminations was doing what was required while flames are in her eyes and shit. And, and, and then we do get like a genuinely really good part with where Emily is standing up to them, and she like does a little part with Charlie, and it's genuinely really good. And then it's immediately bogged down by like, oh yeah, here's the forced reveal to Charlie. Oh, Vaggy's an angel and whatnot. That just ends the song in a very weird way, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd agree that it has some structural issues right there.
Yeah, and and so Sarah, being the great character she is, just says like, "Oh yeah, this confirms that sinners aren't redeemable," and I was like, "Okay, bye. We're gonna target you first of the month," and, and then we get a bit that could have added depth to Adam, where he's like trying to seek approval from Sarah, but it's never really shown or explored. And 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 we have and then we end the episode with a little talk about Emily saying like she's not able to bring joy now that she knows how much pain they're bringing to innocent people when she doesn't know, and she's never seen hell. She doesn't know how many people are really innocent or redeemable. She just saw an abusive pimp in the with the giant magic sphere, which is also never brought back, like I said, with the hologram technology. And and Sarah just casually threatens her sister, saying like, "Oh, if you start to question things, you'll fall like Lucifer," which just adds to her being really evil and irredeemable. But the show later tries to redeem her, and it's just weird to me. So yeah, episode 6 is really bad. Like it really damages the show overall. Like I said, the entire trial is broken, and not even like a purposeful, oh, it's rigged from the start thing. Like no, it's just genuinely broken without the speaker of God being there. And so moving on to episode 7, this is the point that you brought up a while back. Like why is Vaggie so shocked that Charlie doesn't trust her after her big secret is revealed? Like she should have known that Charlie would have been like shocked and hurt by that, and she just acts completely surprised about why Charlie is isolating herself.
I fucking hate Shaggy and their forced fucking drama.
Yeah, yeah. So it's also worth knowing that just now, with like weeks before the extermination happens, everyone's like, or days, we don't know because there is no timeline in the show. That everyone's just now realizing, like, oh yeah, we're probably fucked. And 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 then we get something really funny for 2 minutes from now, where where Charlie blatantly distrusts and dislikes Alistair. She's like, "Oh, you're just here to for your own amusement and whatnot," which again, this is immediately contradicted 2 minutes later, and I find it really funny.
We also spent literally the previous episode blindly trusting him a bunch.
Yeah, and and honestly, I think Vaggie's whole secret is on both Charlie and Vaggie. It's on Charlie for never questioning Vaggie when she was given multiple red flags, and it's also on Vaggie for never thinking to tell Charlie, like, sit her down and confess to her, especially when we learn like a few minutes later and that Charlie is extremely like trusted and forgiven, so there'd be no reason for her not to tell her. And and then we get more destruction of Alistair's character, where he just now tells Charlie that the exorcist can be hurt, even when which, even though it makes sense to some extent, he would keep this to himself. It also really doesn't, because he folded the Vaggie for way less in episode one. Like, and he also presumably cares about himself at least, and wants to live. So why doesn't he just tell her that angels can be killed? And, and then we get what arguably character assassinates Charlie, where she makes a deal with Alistair, which which I'm sorry, we if you spent the whole show so far bringing up how Charlie does not trust Alistair and thinks that he's really sketchy and whatnot, she would never make a deal with Alistair, even if she was this desperate. Like, she would be like, "No, tell me, or I'm not. Like, tell me I'm not doing this." And Alistair does make his deal with her, and he's like, "Oh, I need a favor from you at any time that doesn't involve you hurting anyone," which it seems like even the writers didn't know when that was gonna come into play, and it just happened to line up in season two. Like, and then we also get Vaggie character assassinated right after, where it's revealed that she didn't know angels could be killed, even though she was literally crippled by one. And so within a span of a minute, they've completely character assassinated, or at least damaged, the three main characters of the show.
Wait. So you're telling me that by the same logic that you can gouge my eye out and nearly, just like cripple me and nearly kill me, you can also kill angels? What? Big brain, Vaggie. Big brain.
Yeah, yeah. Charlie is character assassinated for taking the deal with Alistair. Vaggie is character assassinated for not knowing or not remembering angels can be hurt, and Alistair is extremely damaged for not telling them that angels can be hurt way sooner. And, and so Charlie tells Vaggie to basically fuck off and find Carmilla to have her help them, while she goes with Alistair to get reinforcements at Cannibal Town. Get Cannibal. And, and Charlie's also really conflicted in the scene. Like, she's making things worse by not talking to Vaggie, but by the same token, she would also be wasting time if she did talk to her. But they also just never talk. Period about this. So that's just more that just adds to the mess that is the characters in the show. And so, and so we're and so Alistair takes Charlie to Cannibal Town, and we are introduced to Rosie, even though we were already introduced to her in episode 3, because what is consistency? And and Alistair makes a point to say that Rosie is the most dangerous overlord this side of the pentagram when A, we're never shown this, B, people like Carmilla who have killed angels exist, and C, I mean, yeah, with modern context, she's dangerous to Alistair, but to other sinners or other overlords or whoever, that's also never shown. But overall, it's fine. Rosie is a fun enough character with her introduction and her dynamic slash friendship with Alistair is fun. Is fun. I really hope they don't damage their relationship and make it a lot more uneven later on. What was that?
No, I'm just chuckling at your joke.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And so then Vaggie goes to Carmilla, aka goes. I'm sorry, Vaggie goes to the worst character in the show again, and and Carmilla wastes time going off on philosophical shit like how Charlie means nothing to her and whatnot, where when it's when she's wasting time. She should just either help Vaggie, and who is clearly desperate for her help, or at least like negotiate some shit with her instead of just wasting time and fighting her. When again, her daughters are gonna die either way if she doesn't help. So, and, and then Carmilla starts. I'm using air quotes, training Vaggie to fight the Exorcist. Even though she could do this while actually helping her, and she just doesn't. And then we get some like our big like contrivance of the episode, which is like, oh, the cannibals will only listen to you if you listen to this one person. If you convince her, you'll convince everyone, which doesn't make any sense. Especially since that character in question, Susan, exists solely for this minor conflict and then never appears again. Like it's just really stupid, and we cut between that and Carmilla training Vaggie, and she immediately deduces that Vaggie is a former exorcist, which is just more reason for Carmilla to actually listen to Vaggie and help her instead of wasting time. And she and she and she reveals to Vaggie that angelic weapons are the weakness for angels, even though again Vaggie should already know this, and it's a complete fucking shocked Pikachu moment to her. And and, and Carmel explains that angelic weapons are hard to come by, and anyone who is brave enough to go out there and get them isn't willing to go out and openly fight exorcists with it. And then we see the moment where Carmilla killed an exorcist. It's like first of all, how does she even know angelic weapons could hurt angels? Was it literally just a guess? And second of all, how did she even get it?
Felt like it was framed as if it was just like she tried something and it happened to work.
Yeah, which that's extremely lucky. The angel it didn't work. It did work, in that the angel didn't just kill her. And again, going back to that point I made earlier, it's also doubly lucky that the angels didn't have some way of communicating with Adam and Lute so they could find Carmilla and kill her later. And then we get prob. I honestly don't know what to think about Out for Love. It's a very like mediocre song, honestly. Like Daphne does a good job singing, obviously, but and like she basically spends the whole song saying, "Oh, don't fight for who you hate, fight for who you love," which is a fucking MLP Care Bears moral if I've ever seen it. So, no, seriously, like the whole thing is like, and then people will twist the more like, oh, Alistair lost because he was the only one who wasn't fighting for love. Like, fuck off with that stupid moral. Like,
Do people actually say that in the fandom?
yeah, yeah,
That's insane.
that happened when the episodes first came out.
That's insane.
And and then it gets even funnier and more broken when Vaggie magically gets her wings back.
Oh my fucking god.
Look, which makes absolutely no sense. The only reason she got her wings back was so she didn't absolutely get decimated in the final battle. And if it's like a thing, like it took a long time for Angel's wings to grow back, it that would still be stupid, but it makes sense. But no, it's instant. It's like a fucking video game skill tree. And Vaggie spent all her skill points on getting her wings back.
She didn't even have a training arc to justify this anime ass moment.
Yeah, look, God, the pacing in the show is terrible. Oh, but we also need Vaggie to get her wings back for a bunch of hype moments and aura shots later on. So, and, and so then we get a talk between Charlie and Rosie, where Charlie basically confesses, "Yeah, my girlfriend is a former exorcist and never told me." And after literally a 2-minute talk with Rosie, Charlie immediately forgives Vaggie, which is stupid.
Like I said, it's forced. It comes out of like the fucking logic between the two characters as to why they're fighting makes no goddamn sense. Vaggie should actually be like completely understanding about it. Maybe upset, but understanding that Charlie feels the way she does, and then just like 30 minutes later, no, they're chill again. They're fine. Oh
This happened.
well, I'm
This
I'm I'm
happened.
sure that I'm sure they will stop doing this later on in the show.
This happens with their conflict in season 2 as well. Like they can't have conflict between them last longer than an episode.
It's worse with season 2. It's a way worse offense with season 2.
Yeah, and then we get probably one of the better songs in season 1, and that's really not saying much. Ready for this, which it's a decent song. Like mainly when Charlie's singing, Rosie and Alistair's parts are kind of whatever. But the animation is kind of stilted at a few points, and B, Charlie does a lot of convincing, but it's ultimately Alistair who's like, "Oh yeah, you'll get to kill angels," and that's what wins them over. Like, and, and so after that,
Fucking Heckler
Charlie,
is so funny though.
yeah, and and then Charlie and Vaggie reunite. They again immediately forgive each other. They don't even talk or anything. It's like, because what is pacing in the show?
What do you mean we're supposed to have character exchanges? No, we're gonna skip that part.
Hey, remember that part in K-pop Demon Hunters where Zoe and Mira immediately forgave Rumi for hiding that she was a demon?
I mean, I do remember that, and in that case, we actually have like a legitimately like real loving and accepting friendship support in the decision. Can't say the same here.
Yeah. And so, and so then we get probably what they hoped would be a big like reveal this episode where Vag starts off saying like, "Oh, if you all want to leave because you're in danger, that's totally fine. We'll understand." And everyone stayed to help like reinforce the hotel and fight and whatnot. And so, which I mean, it is a nice moment, but it's also just kind of like why did you hype that up so much? It's- and then we get the finale. Oh god, the finale is fucking terrible. Like from the first minute of the finale, it's already broken. Like we see Vox and the V's watching like the hotel training and whatnot, which first of all, that's just stupid. Second of all, how are they even watching it? Like, do they have cameras around there?
They have cameras around the hotel, I guess. I don't know.
It can't be Angel because Angel is actively like getting ready and fighting and whatnot. He couldn't have spent time setting anything up. Third of all, again, why does Vox give a shit about Charlie in the hotel besides Alistair being there? And and fourthly, oh wow, Vox is back. Great to see him again after 6 episodes of being absent. You know, the main antagonist of season 2 just completely gone from season 1.
Why did they need Penchus if they apparently have cameras at the hotel?
Oh my god, you're right.
Why does Vox do literally anything he does in season 2 if he just has cameras at the hotel? Why does he need Angel to spy on them?
Oh my god, holy fucking shit, you're right. I need to add this right now to my notes.
Because if they're watching from like a camera or something, why didn't they use that like ever again or even previously in the season? I guess maybe it didn't exist until episode 8. E- I guess it seems contrived, but okay, maybe. But season 2, did they just fucking disappear?
Oh my god, the show is broken. This show is fucking broken. I'm trying to think right now which is more broken between Hazbin and the sequel trilogy.
No, sequel trilogy, the holdover maneuver.
That is true, yeah.
That breaks literally every film in the entire franchise.
Okay.
That breaks the entire, like, every single, like, Star Wars event of all time. Why didn't you just ram this ship into this other ship? Problem solved.
Yeah. And- all right, and then we get a couple good comedic bits with Penchus and Nifty. We get the fact that Cherry is staying at the hotel to fight because she cares about Angel, I guess. It's, it's, and, and then it's immediately followed up by Vox being annoying, like, lol, look at these losers, they're gonna fucking die, which is stupid. Like again, it's already broken your end to it by being unfunny. And, and we get what is probably the best scene of the series that isn't in Masquerade, which is the group bonding before the extermination, like everyone talking to each other and whatnot. Alistair and Nifty have a little talk. Angel and Husk have a really great talk and whatnot. And so my only real
Yeah.
compl-
It was
my
nice to
only
see them, like, finally actually have character chemistry together.
yeah, my only real complaint is that they are really trying to hammer in Cherry and Penchus as a ship at the very last minute when this could have been developed further. And and then we get what is probably genuinely like unironically one of the best songs of the season, which is the reprise of more than the Shaggy reprise of More Than Anything, which like the which like it's a really sweet song. It's genuinely real really good. I just wish we got more development of Chaggy to like really justify it, and it's even probably one of the best animated songs of the season. Weirdly enough,
I think You Didn't Know is the best animated one.
yeah. Oh, I'm not saying it's the
That
best animated. I'm not saying it's the best animated. I'm just saying it's one of the better animated songs.
I think I would place it like third, next to Poison. And You Didn't Know. You Didn't Know has like actually so much. Like it's very expressive. It's great. Oh my
Yeah,
god, You Didn't Know is the best season one ever looks.
yeah. And the, and then we get the rest of the episode, which is a big fucking gobbledygook battle between the Exorcist and the hotel.
We're gonna address the Lucifer elephant, right?
We're gonna get to that when we get to him. Yeah. Uh, But first we get more ambient unfunny. It's like, oh yeah, whoever kills Vaggie gets $1,000,000 or whatever, and loot expositing and or farming and being unfunny. And then we get another thing that breaks Alistair's character. Alistair can just make giant fucking shields.
Oh my fucking god.
Alistair can just generate giant shields that can cover an entire building.
The amount of fucking powers Alistair has that he'll never use for any useful application ever.
Oh no, I'm gonna get to that in a second. I'm gonna get to that in a fucking
Yeah.
second.
That's gonna be a lot to unpack. Holy fuck.
Yeah. And, and it turns out Adam also is completely overpowered. Not only can he shatter Alistair's shield in one punch, he also has giant heaven beam powers that can eviscerate anything. Which it's like, why if Adam has these powers, why doesn't he just fucking nuke everyone in a second? And then we get Alistair's fight with Adam, and there are two huge problems with this scene. First of all, Adam should lose 100%. All Alistair has to do is make his is like summon his giant kaiju form, and he'll kick Adam's ass. And and secondly, why does Alistair not even attempt to like manipulate or negotiate with Adam? Like you think someone as purportedly smart as him would be like, "Hey, Adam, you want to kill all these people? Me too. Let's team up or so, or something." And he just doesn't.
I think because, like, for one, it's a very inconsistent extent, but the show really does like to portray that he does actually care about Charlie. I don't know why he would, and it doesn't feel consistent that he does, especially because of season two.
If no one else, why doesn't he use this to break free from his deal with Rosie? Like to just kill Rosie and be free.
Wait, what the fuck?
And why doesn't he just tell Adam, "Hey, my soul is owned by this one overlord. If you kill her for me, you can do whatever you want. I don't care."
Because the writing team wanted these cool fight scenes between the two.
Yeah, except here's the thing. I'm gonna be honest, outside of the quick fight at the end of Masquerade, Hazbin sucks at action.
No, it's
Like,
terrible at it. The Alistair fight alone. Oh my, Alistair versus. Oh my fucking god. Uh, Alistair can't fight for shit.
Yeah. Oh no, you don't get it. He's not fighting for love. That's why he's losing. He's not
No,
following
well,
the
like
MLP
for real,
moral.
the only like two people who actually know how to fight in this entire show are Lucifer and Adam. Everybody has atrocious fighting. Yes, even the actually trained to kill Vaggie and Loot, or the worst fucking spear users I've ever seen in my goddamn life.
Uh, I'm not sure when. Hopefully, like within the next few weeks. But I'm gonna rewatch season 2. I am dreading watching the fight scenes in that season.
They're better, mostly, I guess. I mean, they're not good. They're not. But I think you're gonna have a field day pointing out how many different things that he could have done against Valentino, Velvet, and Vox and soloed them all. I think you're gonna have a field day with that fight scene.
Yeah, that's the one I'm referring to. Yeah. Why doesn't Alistair just use his kaiju form to kill everyone? Is he stupid? And, and don't even try to fucking argue.
why
Oh, his
why
power.
doesn't he just put a shield over himself? Is he stupid?
And
He can do
also,
that, right?
yeah, also, don't even try to fucking argue. Oh, his powers are tied to his staff because that's never explained until he just mentions it in season 2. It is never explained or elaborated that his powers come from his staff.
That's not entirely true either, as he uses his shadow traversal in that exact fight while he's nerfed. So they're not specifying which powers even come from it.
It's just whichever ones are convenient. The
I
convenient
guess,
powers are
yeah. Just the
the
plot decides
convenient
it.
powers are hidden behind his staff. Alistair is
That
pay
would
to win.
probably
Didn't you know
include
that?
the shadow traversal though.
And Alistair is pay to win. Didn't you know that? Anyways, Fraudlister gets his ass kicked by an actual named character and nopes the fuck out of there, with the shadow powers and so,
Fuck.
yeah, and so that
Runs away.
it's so, it's so that everyone starts being overpowered by Adam, who just doesn't immediately kill everyone with his beam powers, and so Pence just the and, oh, how do you know that Adam can just kill everyone with his beam powers? Because Adam proceeds to
Well,
kill Pentious with his
I
beam powers.
I actually want to like mention the whole say this. I think he's just fucking around with everyone. Like he's such an absolute sadist. He's clearly drawing the whole thing out. He's even actively holding back and joking around. They're like he doesn't actually try against anyone except Lucifer.
Which is stupid. Why is he wasting time instead of just getting the job done like every other extermination?
Uh, I mean, he really despises Charlie as an example of a character that like he absolutely would not want to instant kill. But
I'm
I
seeing
think I
that.
think he's like just generally being cocky here and wants to draw it out because this is such a like big extermination too, and it's against people who he has a personal vendetta with. Just
I mean,
normal
I guess.
randoms.
I guess I still think it's stupid though.
Stupid character decision, yeah, but I think it would be in character.
Yeah, and, and then we get Pentious' death, which is weirdly played as a joke for some reason, but also seriously.
I still can't figure out what the hell is supposed to be the tone of that scene because like I feel the urge to like laugh because of how abrupt and unhinged it is. But then immediately after the poof, he's dead. Which is how exactly it feels. You know, it's like stepping on a squeaky toy and oops, you just killed fucking 900 people. It's that type of fucking humor. And then just immediately after that, everyone reacts with, you know, such genuine emotional distraught. But like, you're so whiplashed by the previous, joke death and how abrupt it was that you're still processing that. So you can't even like easily resonate with the character's reaction. So the tonal shift is fucked.
Yeah. And and then we get that terrible fight between Vaggie and Loot you mentioned, which ends with Vaggie not killing Loot out of some weird moral thing when it's like no, fucking kill her.
Yeah, I, I could probably like watch through these fight scenes again sometime and point out every fuck ass moment.
Yeah, and, which is immediately proven when Charlie is getting her shit rocked by Adam, and Vaggie can't help her because the one-armed psychopath Loot is holding her down. And then we get to the fun part.
Lucifer finally shows up.
Yeah, let's talk about Lucifer's character assassination real quick. So why the fuck did it take Lucifer this long to show up?
So, as we remember, after More Than Anything, Charlie and Lucifer's relationship is portrayed as being repaired, and they even make a declaration to each other that they will stay in contact and that Lucifer will be around for any important event in her life. For some reason, so much shit has already happened throughout this entire extermination, and just wasn't here despite the fact he's not brain dead. He's a stupid character, goofily stupid and everything, but he's not stupid enough. I wouldn't argue he's stupid enough to not realize that oh shit, Charlie's in danger. I'm gonna like haul my ass over there and protect her. Like cause he even knows that extermination is coming up. I I think he reasonably like didn't he know that it was gonna be at the hotel too?
You'd think Charlie would tell him that.
Oh yeah, at the very least. Yeah. Even if he didn't already know, she would tell him. So he just like I don't know, he fucked off. Maybe he was texting Lilith and getting ignored. Maybe he was playing with rubber duckies. Maybe he was singing, or he was making a prank for Alistair when he gets back. I don't fucking know what the hell he was doing. But it sure as hell wasn't keeping his daughter alive.
Yeah, Charlie almost died because Lucifer didn't show up.
And just because he shows up doesn't change the fact that he actually should be here much earlier. It is within his character development to do so.
Yeah, so they character assassinated him. They completely went back on the development for him.
This is what I mean when I say like I hate character assassination so much because they are so easy to avoid. Like you can even just give people low quality character arcs to explain a change in their character, and more so in the case of Hazbin Hotel, most of them are just simply don't do this very basic thing that you would never expect anyone to write.
Also, this is a point that I realized. So Here we go. Let's count the ways that the season finale of Hazbin Hotel season 1 is broken.
Here we
In
get to play the count the reasons game.
Yeah, count the reasons. Number 1, if Lucifer is there from the start, heaven loses. If Carmilla is there, heaven loses. If Rosie is there, heaven loses. If Vaggie kills Lute, heaven loses. If Charlie actually locks the fuck in, heaven loses.
Other thing that I'm like generally confused about in this show, Charlie is really, really like harmless. Yet in this fight with Adam, she does actually seem to be comparable some to a degree to Lucifer, to her father, if she actually tries to be. I, dude, man, Charlie's power level consistency. Ugh.
Yeah. Speaking of, this is another thing I realized. Why isn't Rosie at the final battle?
She just didn't want to protect her property that day.
So,
She should know it's happening too.
yeah, she should want to help her people, her army.
How wait, how does the contracting even work? Can she even spy on Alistair at all times?
If she can, that fucking breaks season 2 like a twig.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was thinking about the applications of like that would be a way she would know right now, and then of course she should know exactly how to rescue Alistair when he gets captured later. But it seems very unclear. Like, how does she ever summon him? When does she summon him? Why? Like, does she know what he's doing so that she can summon him? That so that she has a reason, or is this fucking random?
Yeah. And so, and so then we get this episode's big reveal of, oh my god, Adam actually has a face. It's not just the mask when it's all like, yeah, no fucking shit.
I actually think it's a pretty funny gag.
Yeah. And then we get more damage to Lucifer's character when he just casually degrades Lilith and Eve. So, just casually degrades his two partners just to get to Adam. Speaking of Adam, you're ready to ruin the power scale into the show again?
Yay!
Adam, we find out that Adam is building level. He can decimate an entire building in a single blast. And which again just adds to the to my point. Why do besides its own ego and whatever, which isn't even a good reason, why doesn't he just fucking mop the floor with everyone instantly?
Is it really building level? Like, is that low? I guess I never really thought about how like potentially low has been scaling actually is.
And
Building, damn.
we then also get a moment where we reveal Charlie has magic red arm powers that just shows up and is never explained or explored further after this.
Why doesn't she threaten Valentino with these in Masquerade?
Yeah. Mm, yeah. And then we get something that's of the big hype moments and aura moment this season, but which is Lucifer beating the shit out of Adam, which is broken now after season 2. So, like, I don't want to get into season 2 too much, but I feel like I have to for this point. So you're telling me Lucifer isn't allowed to hurt sinners, but he is allowed to hurt an archangel?
No, like it it seems to be a normal thing that fallen angels can still hurt angels, but like why isn't that changed? I mean, you would think the whole point of banishing an angel is to punish them, which would probably include them being unable to wage war against the, you know, still in power angels. But no, I guess heaven just didn't think of that.
Yeah. What's stopping heaven from making part of their deal? Like, oh yeah, when the extermination happens, you can't do anything about it, regardless of who's involved.
I guess heaven was just relying on nobody remembering that art exists.
Yeah. And then Adam dies, thank fucking God.
I'm dead. He deserved such a he deserved for his death to just be a simple nifty joke.
Yeah.
It's such a disrespectful scene. I love it.
Yeah. Mm. And we get literal last minute character development where Luke feels really sad about Adam dying, which is like cool. Wish I actually saw more of their dynamic so I could actually feel something here.
Holy shit. Lutz has layers of character. Whoa.
No way. And so then we get like the big news report where they're like, "Oh, extermination day is canceled. The Hazbin Hotel helped out and stopped this whole thing. Congrats to Charlie for not being useless for once." And so, which for I'm not even gonna bring up that point. I'm gonna bring it up when we talk about season two. But there's also one shot in this that really pisses me off where Fox like smiles really smugly at the camera like he actually did anything this season. That's just a small thing that really pisses me off. And so this is also a bit of a nitpick, but both Fat Nuggets and Angel's pet pig, obviously, and Kiki should have absolutely gotten decimated when the hotel got destroyed, but they're totally fine. So
Maybe they just have high durability. I don't know.
yeah, and that and then we get and then we end the season on the really mixed bag that's literally called finale. So, but which
I
sort of starts
still
with
hate this fucking song name, bro.
yeah. Mm,
Give it a name, not just finale, man. Stop it.
yeah, but which already has two problems right at the bat. It starts with Charlie lamenting Sir Pentious' death and saying like this all could have been avoided if I convinced Heaven to work together. Which like, first of all, how? Second of all, you could have tried that and just didn't. And, and then we do get some good bits with Lucifer, like saying that he's inspired by Charlie and he's willing to help her and whatnot. Again, but not before he's like come on little lady, why the frown when her best friend when one of her friends just fucking died.
Yeah, he's consistently insensitive. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. And then we get our obligatory setup for the V's and Alistair's future villains. And, and this is a line that I will never shut up about, especially when we talk about season two. The Vox segment ends with them saying the future of hell belongs to the V's. Keep that in mind. The future of hell belongs to the V's. The song ends nice though. Like the last stretch of the song where it reprises "Happy Day in Hell" is genuinely pretty good. And then we get our two definitely not post-credit scenes with Serpentius arriving in heaven right in front of Sarah and Emily, and Luke going to Lilith saying that she needs to stop Charlie if she wants to stay in heaven, which that one literally goes nowhere now after season 2, so it's completely pointless. Though it is nice to see that Pentius got redeemed almost by complete accident. So, and so that's has been season 1. So, I might genuinely knock this down to a 2 now after this.
Oh, I've consistently had it at a 2. Season 1 is a 2.
Season 1 is a fucking 2 out of 10. Like,
A 2 out of 10 season with 1 8 out of 10 episode. Masquerade Our Beloved.
yeah, no, I just knocked it down to a 2 out of 10. It's... So let's get into the meat and potatoes now, like the general discussion about the episode. About the season. So overall, the animation is generally inconsistent. Like, it looks really good in some parts, and it's very spotty and stilted, if not outright bad, in others.
Yeah, the main animation flaw though is that season 1 is really bad at expressing characters' emotions. So they ride around the skill level a lot by having characters like blatantly state their emotions all the time. Like
Yeah,
the even with like more than anything super emotional song, I don't find Lucifer's animation to be expressive enough. It's stiff, it's awkward. It's got resemblances of emotional expression, but really the one song that like fully is able to capture emotions is You Didn't Know.
yeah. Speaking of, I forget who does the actual music for the show, like the orchestral music, but uh, not orchestral, but the actual background music. But it's really nothing special. It just fills the beats without being really impactful or memorable in the slightest.
Wait, there's background music?
Yeah, like the actual like score for the show,
I didn't notice it even exists. What the hell?
which is apparently done in season 1 by Evan Alderete in Gooseworks, and in season 2 by Brian Sadler.
They fucking Gooseworks?
Which uh, which
Different
again, like I
Gooseworks,
said,
right?
yeah, like I said, for a lot of people, I know Evan and Gooseworks can make good music because the music for Amazing Digital Circus is fucking great.
So it's the same Gooseworks.
Yeah,
Same woman?
yeah.
What the fuck? That's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, I still stand by the fact that the actual like background music for Has Been season 1 is nothing special at all, really.
I actually had like no idea it's even there. How quiet is the fucking sound mix?
It's, so the then we get probably the. And should I talk about the one unanimous positive right now, or save it for the end?
Let's tear apart everything, then do the positive.
Okay, so the world building in this show is fucked.
Starting off strong with quite possibly the worst element of the show. Woo!
Which, first of all, I'm gonna add this too. There's no in-show reason why we only see Pride. I don't think it's mentioned a single time that they're like, oh, sinners can't leave Pride. That's why the entire show is set there. So, like, why don't we see the rest of Hell and what they feel about this?
Because fuck you.
I just added two more points because it's completely busted. So, so, like I said, Heaven has magical hologram technology that can physically interact with people, and they just never use it. Outside of episode one, it is never used, never comes back. They never use it in season two or anything. It's literally like a contrived thing just for this episode and never again.
The political world of the show is also completely fucked.
Yeah, the political side of the show is awful, which we'll get to that. And so uh, I keep going on about this point about how Heaven doesn't have body cams or anything for the access, but I'll drop that now. Like, I still stand by it. I'm just not gonna keep bringing it up just to be repetitious. Hell is very inconsistent on how seriously they treat the exterminations. Sometimes they talk about it like it's a huge deal, like it's a huge deal. Other times they're just like, oh well, oh darn that pesky extermination. We gotta speed things up. And when when there are animated shows like Arcane or maybe I haven't seen Invincible, so I can't judge, but like even Invincible that treats serious subject matter with the respect they deserve.
Uh, so as an Invincible fan, uh, yes, they literally do consistently throughout.
Yeah, which Invincible is also on Prime. So
Invincible, by the way, also not even a focus of the show, unlike Hazbin Hotel or Arcane. But even despite the fact it is less of a focus than Hazbin Hotel, they care more about their political world and actually put effort into it.
okay, you probably understand this better than I do. So why don't you talk about how fucked the political world of Hazbin is?
Uh, I guess, for example, the Overlords. We don't actually see any sort of, like, they are supposed to be this big deal. They are what really runs hell. Uh, Yet, like, we don't really even slightly flesh out any sort of influence they really have. The best we get is between Carmilla and Alistair. However, Carmilla just deals weapons, I guess. There's not really a whole lot shown besides that. And Alistair, dead ass, is treated like God by, street public, but the moment he actually goes into political figures, they treat him with the amount of respect that Lute gets from Heaven.
So none.
So, like, that shit is inconsistent pretty badly. Um, hmm. Oh my fucking god.
Oh, I got a couple other points that I was gonna bring up. But I wanted to add another thing to the sort of political thing and how fucked the world building is.
Okay.
The seven deadly sins.
I keep forgetting they're even here.
Yeah, the fact that the seven deadly sins are just never involved in the show outside like Easter eggs and has been season two is fucking terrible.
Yeah, they're a hell of a boss thing, weren't they?
Yeah,
Mm,
which is funny
yeah, I'm
because
pretty sure them not appearing in Hazbin is like the main reason why the Hell of a Boss and Hazbin Hotel fandom are actually technically separate. Because these two fight a lot over this one topic.
yeah, when they should unanimously agree, hey, these major characters in Hell's hierarchy should kind of be present in both shows.
Yeah, that's what the Hell of a Boss side argues, and Hazbin is like, I don't think it really matters that much.
Oh, so that makes the Hasbin fandom stupid. So they're
We know the
stupid.
Hazbin fandom is stupid. I literally watched I literally read this like YouTube comment inventing interpretations out of thin fucking air. Like literally inventing character depth where there was none. Like I've seen a lot of Has-Been fans, not to attack the fandom, it's just a few of the fandom, a select few. We all have that minority. Some of the people in here will actually somehow unironically embody the curtain is just blue joke. Sometimes the curtain is not just simply blue, but yeah, no, a lot of things in Has-Been are really just that shallow with no further meaning, and people do people like to really presuppose meaning into it.
Yeah, I and I mean this with, and you know what makes the seven deadly sins thing even funnier. Number one, they can be in the show because we see in season two that out like they have pictures on the in Lucifer's room and they're literally sending him gifts and shit and like literally begging him to come back. And number two, they're not in the show because they could literally solve all the problems in 2 seconds. What are Adam and Vox gonna do against Satan? What is Alistair gonna do against Satan, or even fucking Ozzy or Mammon?
So wild that Satan and Lucifer are two different people.
Yeah. And, and also speaking of the political world, we see nothing outside of heaven, outside of that one courtroom scene, but and so and we never see like how they respond to the exterminations being made public, which you think that's an important thing we would fucking talk about.
Yeah, yeah, they really screw up trying to have like there is practically no heaven lore or understanding of heaven until season 2, episode 2.
Yeah. And then we get the power scaling of the show, which I know power
Oh
scaling
my
isn't,
fucking god.
which which okay, get all the power scaling's illegal, it's stupid shit out of the way right now. It's not, it's valid and it's fucking broken
No,
and
no,
has
it's power systems are a fundamental functionality to a story. They are how we have our solutions. They ensure that everything can coexist together. They're the reason why someone can't just fucking punch the one ring into not existent anymore. There's a specific power system in place. It needs to go into the Eye of Sauron. Just like consistently, supposedly, Alistair is supposed to be the strongest sinner in hell. However, he struggles against people allegedly significantly weaker than him. He regularly gets threatened by people significantly weaker than him. And the moment he slightly loses some staff powers, he gets absolutely bullied.
please, Rosie, I need this. My staff is kind of broken. I live in a hotel. I need to get the fuck out.
Yeah, no like power scaling. I know people who don't like power scaling, but it is fundamental. Uh, they're like I I understand the conversation can go south pretty quickly, but there are right ways to do it. You have the excessive stuff where like precise calculations and everything, and then consistently expecting it to always be the case. And then you just have basic internal consistency. The internal consistency of how the power levels work is what we're discussing right now.
And they
And it
don't.
is fucked. It does not exist.
Yeah, Adam has powers that can wipe everyone out and he just doesn't use them. Alistair has literally whatever abilities the show wants him to have and he never uses them except when it's convenient.
Charlie
Lucy,
has similar powers to Lucifer but never uses them, and has exact movement, exact same speed feats as him, about the same strength too. I don't know why she doesn't just fucking bully Adam, actually.
yeah,
That shit felt icky. Like, she
Lu-
actually shouldn't. She should bully Adam if she is truly comparable to Lucifer.
oh, but Charlie's a nice character who doesn't want to bully characters. That's why she's afraid to stand up to Valentino in episode 4.
Oh, who said that in the YouTube comments? No, Charlie wants this man dead right now. Especially after watching him fucking murder one of her best friends.
Yeah. Uh, Yeah, speaking of Lucifer, Lucifer can is archangel level, but he can't hurt people but he can't hurt sinners. Except he can when he's fucking against his will in a gun or something.
He's not Archangel level, he's like beyond that.
Yeah.
Dude, Lucifer could like solo like the entirety of Heaven's army. Since the show really likes to frame it as if Adam is the strongest of them all.
Yeah. And then we get to another thing that the show completely mishandles at best, which is its main theme of redemption. So, So I mostly have 2 points to bring up about this. The first of all is the theme itself is inherently broken because the show is too afraid to discuss people who genuinely cannot be redeemed. Like groomers, war criminals, serial rapists, people like that. The show just never just like, hey, not everyone can be redeemed, you know. And
Or if everyone can be redeemed, how does every single type of person do that? Doesn't really want to discuss that.
yeah, and that's why they completely like baby down the severity of what the main characters do because why didn't Serpentius get into heaven? Oh, he and why did Serpentius go to hell? Oh, he didn't report Jack the Ripper. Okay, why did Angel Dust go to hell? Oh, he killed his abusive dad. Okay,
These fucking Owl House is more mature writing than this show.
yeah, no, seriously, there are plenty of shows aimed at
Amphibia.
there are plenty of shows aimed at younger audiences that are more mature and thoughtful than
Gravity
Hazbin.
Falls. That's 3 fucking Disney shows.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go into Nickelodeon. Fucking Hey Arnold and Avatar. Oh, we'd be here all day if we could actually, if we focused on those jabs. Anyway, no, like, the show should not be afraid to meaningfully discuss these themes in a nuanced, mature manner, considering its target audience is late teens and above. It's about the 16, plus range. Uh, there's not really it's not an assumption that nobody will understand that nuance. Especially when it's the same show that makes Masquerade, which is such a nuanced portrayal of pornography and sexuality expression and also sexual assault and emotional abuse. like, uh, it really shouldn't be hard to explore each and every type of person, how they can be redeemed under, Charlie's belief that everyone can be redeemed. It shouldn't be an issue for characters to meaningfully, in a complex way, actually challenge Charlie's notion that everyone can be redeemed. Instead of actually having a discussion between the two, it's simply nuh-uh, and Charlie's like, yeah-huh.
And I actually was sent a thing a while back that actually sums up the whole thing up perfectly. I'm taking this from the Incredible Characters wiki real quick. Characters who do question their perspective are often portrayed as villainous strawmen, such as Adam and Alistair, or as misguided individuals who eventually come around to her way of thinking, like Lucifer, and to a lesser extent Emily.
I think what also frustrates more about the redemption theme failing as neglectfully as it does is that you do have other works meaningfully discussing those nuances. Silent Hill has tackled it. Red Dead Redemption is entirely about having a very nuanced conversation between those two games that talk about very different aspects of it. And then, movies, you have countless crime thrillers.
Yeah.
And then, of course, oh, a movie which I adore, Good Will Hunting. Like redemption is a pretty common theme throughout fictional history. Uh, we have been obsessed with it as writers for a very long time. We still to this day aren't philosophically satisfied. We haven't had every conversation we want to have. And then you take Hazbin Hotel, and it takes a very renowned theme and doesn't even try to use it. It's less like a theme and more of a background setting for character motivation. It's a show that's very willing to, explore the sins, but not like the healing process.
Yeah. All right. So I'm just gonna go like in a certain order of characters, but I'm saving that for the video that I'm gonna make. So I say let's go through characters like based on like tier rank and so. So like we have amazing writing, which is nobody, great writing, decent writing, bad writing, and abysmal dog shit. So for great writing at the top, I have Nifty. Obviously, she's the funniest and arguably most consistent character in the show.
He doesn't have a whole lot to do other than be a a comic relief character, and she is a legitimately like she is the effort and creativity that is supposed to be put into comedy. She's great for this.
Yeah. So Sir Pentious generally a pretty well written character. The only real problem with him is some minor stuff he does in episode 2, like why he cares about the V so much and why he didn't like start spying on them earlier and whatnot. So, but other than that, Pentious is a really solid written character. Husk, I think, is also generally pretty well written. Like there's not much really to criticize about him.
Yeah, he's mostly just a very decent exploration of jadedness, uh, to a small extent, uh, the danger of ego, and of course, alcoholism.
Yeah. And then I do still have Angel Dust in great writing, but he's on the line between great and decent after episode 6. Like like episode 6 really does damage him a good amount. Moving on to decent writing, we have Valentino, who, if you ask me, going out of season 2, I would argue he should have been like the big V villain of season 2 instead of Vox. Like he does way more this season.
Yeah, and he already set up like a personal journey with Angel that could have been fully immediately followed up with. Then there's also Charlie's set in stone. One of the very few she gets in the show actual vendetta. So he would have been a direct antagonist to Charlie and Angel.
Yeah, and they never explore that vendetta further.
No, it's crazy. Charlie just forgets that she wants Valentino to lose his job. Was her number fucking one priority?
Yeah,
That's gone now.
yeah. And Velvet is also a decent enough character. She's the one character who actually is suspicious of Carmilla, but she also does basically nothing this season. So, I'd argue this is more than she does in season 2, though. So
Yeah, she appears like twice total in season 2 from my rewatch.
yeah, in an actual
She builds a weapon for Vox and then she destroys Vox's weapon. That's all she gets to do in season 2. At least she yaps in season 1 like a lot.
Oh no, I was talking about Velvet, not Carmilla.
Oh, I heard Carmella. My bad.
Yeah, Velvet does nothing in season 2. She does nothing in season 2 except get her ass beat by Baxter and Nifty, but we'll get to that when we talk about season 2.
She attempts to aura farm and she gets her ass beat.
Yeah, just like every other character in the show.
Damn, loot in season 1.
Yeah. Sarah and Emily are both decently written characters. We just also don't know much about them other than Emily is super bubbly and basically the heaven version of Charlie, and Sarah is evil and allowed genocide.
I'd actually argue that season 2 Sarah is kind of morally gray though. Everything Carmilla wishes.
Yeah.
I,
And then
I actually really like season 2 Sarah.
like between like on the line between decent and bad writing, we have Zastiel, who literally has two functions: to aura farm and be Carmilla's voice of reason, which he pretty badly fails at, both in season 1 and especially season 2.
He just gets fucking like ignored in season 2. Oh my gosh. Gives
Again,
advice, Carmilla like nuh-uh, fuck off. You're not even relevant anymore.
Again, one of the oldest and most prominent overlords is just completely ignored, just showing how great the political landscape is.
Same woman that preached you better show some respect to Zestiel immediately dismisses him.
Yeah. Anyways, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
Moving on to actually no, Rosie is also on the line between decent and bad writing because she should have shown up in the finale and just didn't. But
I guess she just didn't want to protect her property that day.
yeah, yeah, she has a vetted interest in the hotel and Charlie. Why isn't she there to protect her?
Oh shit, yeah. Like, she has vetted interest in, like, the hotel and Charlie. She has a personal connection to Charlie and Vaggie. She has a belief in the hotel. And she has to protect her Alistair asset. And probably by proxy, his assets, Husk and Nifty. She has, like, a bunch of reasons to be there. None of this mattered at the time, though.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on to bad writing, we have Cherry, who does nothing this season except vaguely be Angel's friend and bad influence. We
Not
have
even very funny compared to season 2.
yeah, we have Mimsy, who you and Toon already talked about what a bad character Mimsy is in her relationship with
Yeah, we
Alice.
tore her apart. Damn.
Yeah, we have Vox, who again is made out to be big shit, and then just does nothing the whole rest of the season.
It's like one of the best songs in the whole season. Stayed gone. Nothing afterwards. And then eats popcorn.
Yeah.
By the way, honorable mention with has been in good jokes. Lucifer saying, "Now I'm going to fuck you," and the pan to everyone's reaction, especially Vaggie and Vox's face, hilarious. And then the
Yeah.
follow up of Charlie's, "It's fuck you up, dad." That is like legitimately a good joke.
Yeah. I didn't really laugh at it, but whatever. So, at least on rewatch. Moving on to Loot, she is basically a statue this season. She's here to aura farm and exposit information and have a really shitty fight with Vaggie towards the end. So, and then we have Lucifer, who was in decent writing until he just didn't show up to help Charlie in the hotel at the end. So that alone assassinates him and puts him in bad writing. So,
They
and
spend a lot of time actually completely undoing more than anything to Lucifer. They spend a lot of time doing it.
yeah. And then we have both Charlie and Vaggie, who are on the line between bad writing and abysmal dog shit. So,
Bismo dog shit Vaggie, please. She doesn't have a character. When she does have a character, she gets broken and used for relationship drama. She's brain dead even though she's supposed to be smarter than Charlie. She's actually possibly arguably dumber than Charlie. Abysmal dog shit.
honestly, I can't argue with that. Yeah. Yeah, Vaggie has
She also
literally
can't
no.
fucking fight.
Yeah, Vaggie has no character this season besides being Charlie's girlfriend. And
Actually, fuck it. I'm just gonna like disrespect Shaggy right now. Every single relationship in Riverdale is better written. That's
Wow.
mean. That is mean. That's bad.
Yeah. Actually, actually, you know what? No, Charlie goes into abysmal dog shit too for making a deal with Alistair. That completely character assassinates her.
Yeah, and then there was also the character assassination in Hell's Greatest Dad, of course, where she pretends to like she takes everything Alistair says as if it's real.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then and and Saint Peter is just embarrassing, obnoxious, completely unfunny, and he just gets worse in season 2. So, and I've already made my grievances about Adam and Carmilla, so we'll just gloss over them. So that brings us to Alistair.
He's in a nice little limbo between bad and abysmal dog shit.
No, he is abysmal dog shit for me.
Okay. Okay.
Like, like he is only smart because everyone else is either fucking stupid or they don't question him when they absolutely should. That's the whole reason he's able to keep the Exorcist secret for as long
My
as he is.
opinion is that you might need to make a lower tier for season 2, Alistair. Abysmal
I
dog
just,
shit is just not enough.
I just might, yeah. That's where Charlie and Alistair in season 2 will go.
Because if season 1 Alistair is abysmal dog shit, season 2 Alistair might need a new tier.
Yeah,
We could call it Suicide Squad game. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. We're told he's smart, but he's smart by complete contrivance. We're told he's strong, but he's only strong against unnamed goons and Serpentius, and actually, and and just immediately loses against
He's
actual
not
main
even strong
characters.
against Serpentius. When I said he struggles against people significantly weaker than him, I was referring to the fact that he does take a long ass time to fight Pentius. Pentius legitimately holding his own. Fucking Alistair. Come on, bro.
And, oh my god! I just realized another fucking broken power Alistair has that's never used again.
What?
He can create giant fucking explosions when he sends Pentius away.
Okay. What even is the list here? Giant fucking explosions, shadow traversal, fucking kaiju transformation. There's his vines, his tendrils. Sure, there's something you mentioned earlier.
The shields.
Yes, the shields.
He can summon little minions to do his bidding.
Yeah, so like none of this will ever be used really.
And
Mainly
no,
the
no, no. The only abilities he'll ever use are the minions and tendrils because that's apparently all he needs.
yeah, plus shadow traversal, I guess. That's literally it. Those three out of his like 6 or like 8 powers.
Please fucking tell me they don't introduce any more broken powers for him in season 2.
I mean, it's not kaiju level, so
You, you know,
he
you know, I'm
can
gonna.
he creates this like surfboard thingy out of his shadow, to like get away from Shockwave. How the Shockwave? Shockwave.
Yeah. You
Like
know what
he's
I'm gonna
surfing
do?
in the air to get away from that fuck ass shark.
Yeah. You know what I'm gonna do right now? Like, genuinely?
What?
I'm gonna put Abel and Speaker of God in bad writing for not even being here in season 1.
That's diabolical yet probably understandable.
They should. Those are two characters that absolutely should have been in season 1 and just aren't. Anyways, I feel like there's one more point we should get to before we get to the actual positive stuff, which is, oh boy, the pacing.
Oh my fucking god.
So the pacing is completely rushed in this show. Like months of development go by between episodes.
At the same time, nothing is happening, so it also could be considered a slog. I actually still only think episodes 6 through 8 are even necessary.
Yeah. The character development is largely off screen, as we see with Panchas.
Oh my god.
Actually, I think a good amount of Angel's development is also off screen. Like, like we only really see it in Masquerade and Welcome to Heaven.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't change like as much as like season 2 though.
Like
Season
what?
2 gets past since it's a time jump. Oh, Angel in season 2 is like a for one, he doesn't like constantly over sexualize himself.
Yeah. It's, yeah, but then we also get the bit where he's off screen started getting therapy from Charlie. And you keep complaining about Shaggy. I think I need to complain about them for a second. They have literally no time to develop their relationship or give them any depth. Like, seriously, why don't they just take a few minutes to talk when they reunite in Hello Rosie?
As I've said, I think Cherry and Penchas are a believable couple, but Husk and Angel Dust have by far the most depth, and they're not even together yet.
Yeah. So,
Fucking will they, won't they thing though.
yeah. I guess we can end on a good note though, so let's finally talk about the one like unanimous positive about the show, which is the voice acting. Yeah, it's really not a surprise considering its massive Broadway talent and whatnot, but all the voice actors do an amazing job in the show, even if the characters themselves are really not good most of the time.
Yeah, and it's not too hard to voice act as either. The same mechanics.
Yeah, I would say the highlights from from season 1 are probably Blake Roman as Angel, Alex Brightman as Penchas and Adam, Joel Perez as Val, and Jeremy Jordan as Lucifer.
Yeah, Alex Brightman voices 2 characters. Blake Roman voices 3.
I'm talking about major characters, not like side people.
Well, Alex Brightman is both Adam and Penchus, is he not?
No, he is. I was talking about with Blake because Ethan in the Egg Boys
Oh
are
yeah, yeah,
different.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, only Angel is a major character.
Yeah. I will also say, despite how bad Charlie, Vaggie, and Carmilla are, Erica Henson, Stephanie Beatrice, and Daphne Rubin Vega do give their all with their performances. So,
Really give Stephanie a whole lot of voice complexity to work with though. Erica is given a lot of showtime though.
yeah.
Part of that is definitely the fact that they chose to create a chaotic character, and it really does take some very specific directions and good communication to bring who Charlie is to life through the voice.
Yeah.
Not an easy character to pull off in the voice tech stuff, but they did it. It's really impressive.
Yeah. And I would say that is pretty much it for Hazbin Season 1, unless you have anything else you want to bring up.
I still think the color palette does not fit the tone.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Right, then I think that is about it for this time then.
Yep.
Right.
I'll
Definitely
probably
shorter.
end up having more things to talk about around, you know, like if when we get to season 2.
Yeah. And I guess we'll have to wait and see if Helliverse comes to San Diego Comic Con in a couple weeks and see if we get any updates there.
Yeah.
Right, then I suppose that is it then. Right.